All right, it's wood day. I went and picked up the wood, threw everything in the van, and here are my paper templates that we're going to use to get all the ceiling and walls in from ABC Rig. These worked out great, worth the money. All right, my dog's barking. Here we go. The first sheet is in. Let's walk in here. This is key if you're going to do it. Definitely buy one of these. So instead of the way they did it at ABC Rig, in which we used the paper template to cut out the blobs, but we didn't want to cut the blobs, so we just extended the line a little further on both sides. And then it ends up perfectly, a 5x5 sheet ends up perfectly halfway through the rave nut that I put in here, center, and right there. So what I'm planning on doing is butting up the other one, having this riv nut going in between. I'm going to put aluminum strip across as an accent piece, but also it's going to go through the riv nut, so it's going to hold it all the way across, so it'll be like basically a big washer. So that's it. We need to drill the holes for the lights, and hopefully the lights are working today. The second 5-foot sheet goes from this edge all the way to the last rib, halfway through the last rib. So that's awesome. It'll be easy to get the fan measurements in. The thing we have to figure out is the last bay on how we're going to do that. I don't know how people do it, but we're going to figure it out. Yeah, there's a couple options we thought about. Maybe a little L bracket here to connecting them. I don't know. Shouldn't be too hard though. It's just a little piece. So first panel is the most important one because it sets everything up. Paper templates, the van. So we pretty much got it all. We just need a straight edge. I'm going to the store to get one. Maybe we'll think about a piece of the wall, maybe down there or something. See how it goes. I know I definitely wanted to get the lights wired up and the fan. That would be what we'd like to do today. So, labels. The ceiling is up. The problem I'm having is the seam, which I wanted to get a piece of aluminum to go across and then drill these holes where they're at, so we'll push up on the seam and be even throughout. I think maybe because we gave a little extra room on this one because these are so tight. And I think we have to cut these edges off to, yeah, gotta cut those edges off to make it fit a little cleaner. So these come on when the door opens, and these 4 are on the dimmer switch right here. A little hard to tell right now. Fan hole is cut in and it fits perfect. Let's get inside. Everything's wired. It doesn't look that great, but everything's labeled. We didn't get too crazy because we're gonna have to, we put in the wall, we have to rewire everything, and then when we upholster it, we gotta take everything off and do it again. So I'm gonna clean it up once that's done. But here's a switch panel right there. Everything's working good. Here's a dimmer switch. Let's go dim these babies a little bit. Oh, they're all the way high. So those 4 are on dimmers. Turn all the way off. And so we cut everything's perfect with the ceiling fan. The max fan is good to go. And we got the battery, everything's wired. It goes 0's wired into the alternator or the battery, whatever. And then we got the Sure Power wired in. We also got all the USBs plugged in. We still have everything ran for this. Is all the 120s ready to go, but not wired up. So it's not plugged in the back of the battery, but you just have to plug it in. So we got a 120 and a 12 volt one for the fridge, one for the cooktop, if anything you need there. What else got done? So that's a lot got done. So me and my wife got a lot of stuff done today. She is doing the last sweeping. And
did you show the power, shore power under the van?
I did a video on the shore power, yes. So these lights turn off with the van. So we still have 4 here, and then we're gonna have, we're thinking underneath lights also here, and then we're gonna have reading lights back there. So we'll have another set of these lights right there on each side, and then we'll have reading lights on a little swivel and a USB connected, and yeah, so that's how it's going. Everything feels good, and it was a lot of work, but a lot of fun and a lot of grumbling, but it got done for today. On to tomorrow. The top part of this wall in, you can see the USB there, and 120. Let me turn it on. There we go. There's a switch for it there on the switch panel, and here it is. So we got USB-C and USB. I think it has a little power switch here too. That's pretty cool. And 120 underneath. Second wall, so obviously we got to do the trim ring. I'm thinking about obviously getting a piece of wood, like a 1x there, and making a box around, and then getting thinner wood and bending it around the corners. Think it'll work? We'll find out. This part is a little tricky because it is solid metal in there, but we did put some riv nuts there, so I might do some pins or something to hold it. All right, and then Thursday, the next thing we're going to tackle is probably, maybe we'll just do this wall because it's just a simple cut the hole. And this one is going to take the longest because we're going to cut the hole, run the wires, put the switch box in here, have another hole. This is on top of it, the goal 0, and then cut the last hole, which is the dimmer switches. They're here. So, let's see, I gotta turn off the camera. That's it. One day at a time. Right here, I'm kind of leaning towards, I'm gonna get a transition piece and just put it right here. I saw an aluminum one that looks pretty cool, and should work good and look clean. And then I'm gonna do that along the strip on the top. After it's upholstered, I'll see what strip I have, and then what I'll do, I'll put a 1-inch transition piece, I think, down the sides, and I'll make it look straight and clean because the lines are a little wavy. That is it. That's where we're at. That's it. That's where we're at today. Maybe obviously stick some insulation down there, and yeah, I think that's it. We still gotta, obviously we're just dry fitting everything because we have to upholster the walls and stuff. So that's the update. All right, here we are the next day, and we are going to do the back two panels. We are trimming our paper template so we can get a more precise, where to put it on the wood, so we're not wasteful. So we're cutting them out. I'm using the riv nut gun. If you don't have a riv nut gun, I would definitely suggest to get one. It's definitely worth it. So I'm putting in all the riv nuts, and after that what we do is we screw them in, and then we put some puffy paint on them and put the template, push it against it, and then from there we have our holes or our marks where to drill holes for the riv nuts. We did use the existing 8mm at the top, and then for all the other ones we use quarter-inch riv nuts. I think quarter 20s what they are. So here I am cutting more. I'm going 1.5 inches in, using a straight edge with my skill saw to get a little straighter line. And this process doesn't actually take too long. Just take your time. Cutting the bump outs here. Right, here I am pushing it up, and now we're putting in the bolts and painting them, getting the lines, cutting the holes, drilling the holes, while Becky puts in the other riv nuts to get ready for the next panel. There you see all the bolts are in, place them in, everything fits good. I would suggest getting longer bolts for the top so you can actually hang it and then get the fitting right, especially when you're wiring the wires. So I found out that I got 3.5 inch 8mm on top, so I could let it hang off the wall, so I could reach behind, do all the wiring, and then push it in and have space, and it made it a lot easier. All right, video update. I made my bump ins for the wall. So this one, all electrical stuff. I don't know if I didn't plan it very good, but when the electrical stuff's here, you gotta have some room behind it. So I had to do like a little L, because we wanted to have some storage here, and then we're gonna put like a little bit of netting also. And up here, I want to put a light, so it's like a soffit light that lights this whole area, and this is going to be the color splash that we're going to have. So this is both sides. I went away with doing the curves because you're not going to really see it, everyone says, so I just made boxes inside of here. And then on the top and bottom, it's Baltic birch with some brackets on the corners for stiffness. So it should hold up to whatever we're putting in here. We'll probably put some insulation again behind here now that we know how big these things are. So I got the wiring done this weekend, bump outs, and I think that's about it, which felt like a lot. And we got our first panel upholstered. We did a panel yesterday. So that is the color. A little hard to tell. It's like a gray, blue, green with some other splashes in there. And it looks different in different lighting. So that's gonna be the walls. And then we're gonna have an orangey red splash inside of here. We're gonna wrap the rings. We don't know how we're going to get rid of the screw holes. We're gonna maybe like finishing nail gun or something. Maybe that'll work. I don't know. Any suggestions, let me know. But I'll probably be too late by then because I'll probably make a decision. And then I got to frame in this window, which is going to be pretty tough also. I'll probably just do it pretty similar to this, but it's a little deeper. You won't see these little imperfections because it's going to be Landau foam and then material wrapped on top of there. But we will do sanding to make it as perfect as possible before we start upholstering. Yeah, that's it.